Have you been diagnosed with nasal polyps? Contact Prism Clinical Research for more information about our nasal polyp study.
Another tough one for the Minnesota Wild as they come up short 3-1 today in St. Louis. The Blues. It's time for Wild Breakaway presented by Prism Research. With West Walls, I'm Audra Martin. The Wild were hoping a change of scenery might do some good for this team that was looking to get back in the series. Unfortunately, once again today, they trailed early, had to play from behind the entire game. And once again, they only managed one goal against Jake Allen, who continues to be spectacular for the St. Louis Blues. And now, unfortunately, West, they find themselves on the brink of elimination.
Yeah, scoring first is going to be very, very important. I talked about it in the pregame show earlier to see how the St. Louis Blues would react to having to play from behind. The Minnesota Wild have not had the lead in any of the 3 games that they've played so far in this series. So going forward into Game 4, obviously, scoring first is going to be very, very important. I thought the Minnesota Wild's first period, they did not have any jump. They did not be able to get any forecheck. Only had 4 or 5 shots in the first period. I thought as the game went on, they started to take the play to the St. Louis Blues and really was just waiting for some magic in the third period. Had a bunch of great scoring chances, and anytime they were able to get inside and get a good scoring opportunity, Jake Allen was there to make the save. 40 of 41. He was off the charts once again.
The trend continues, because here's a look at your final stats. It's more of the same from what we've seen from the Minnesota Wild, out shooting the Blues, this time 41-31. Can't get the job done on the power play tonight, 0 for 4, while the Blues go 1 for 3 with the man advantage. And another strong night in the faceoff circle for the Minnesota Wild, but again, it all just comes up short. So now the Wild, it's do or die situation on Wednesday night, and here's what Bruce Boudreau had to say about that.
Well, I think it would change for sure. I mean, we got to look at it as just a Game 7 on Wednesday and not worry about the series at all. Just worry about one game. And then that's why during this course of the season you have goals of 1 week. Short-term goals. It's just one Game 7 on Wednesday. And you know, I mean, if we play like we played tonight with a few little tweaks, you know, who knows? I think we could be successful.
So now the Wild do have 2 days to regroup and get back to work on Wednesday night. It's a late game, an 8:30 puck drop, which means we start things off right here for Wild Live at 7:30, then 5, 6, and 7, all if necessary. You'll have to wait and see what happens Wednesday night, and hopefully that is a good effort for the Minnesota Wild. Again, it's do or die. You got to bring everything you got Wednesday night, and like you said, maybe really all it takes is pouncing first, getting to Jake Allen before his team can do the rest.
Yeah, and the fourth one in any series, when you're eliminating any athlete, is always going to be the toughest one to win, because that's the end of the coffin. So the Minnesota Wild are going to come out with an outstanding effort. I believe in Game 4 they're going to leave everything out there, and if Jake Allen decides he wants to stop 40 of 41 again, it's going to be tough for the Wild to get back. But you got to give this St. Louis Blues defensive core a bunch of credit, man. They are playing some great hockey. Parayko, Pietrangelo, Jay Bouwmeester, they're doing an outstanding job. They can all skate. They're not high-end guys that are going to go end-to-end, but they're doing an outstanding job of defending around their zone. And when they get up a goal, man, it feels like they're up by 3. That's how well they're defending right now. But the Wild are going to have to figure it out somehow.
And unfortunately, the Minnesota Wild offense just MIA for 3 straight games. Hopefully that is something that changes in a big way. Wednesday night, they need it. It's going to all come down to Wednesday night, and hopefully it ends with a big Minnesota Wild victory before they head back home. We'll see if they can get it done in a few nights. For the meantime, for West Walls, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway, presented by Prism Research.